Welcome to In Real Life Wellbeing for Women. I'm your host, and this is your space for science-based strategies, coaching tools, and thoughtful conversations created for real women living real lives. Your well-being deserves attention, not when you reach crisis points, but now. So take this moment, not for your to-do list, but for you. Change is often approached with urgency, even when we already feel tired or overloaded. When everything feels important at once, action can feel necessary, but not always helpful. That's why this episode explores a different starting point. Awareness before action, because clarity, not pressure, is often what makes change possible and manageable. Okay, let's start with clarity then, the why and the science. Most women do not struggle because they lack motivation. They may struggle because life already feels full. Emotions, responsibilities, commitments are competing and are layered and complex. Everything feels important at once, and the brain doesn't like uncertainty. When our system is overloaded, the brain shifts towards protection, not innovation. It is difficult to start or change something when our brain already feels like it's in survival. That's why, when life feels intense, we often return to old habits, not because we're not able to make a shift or make improvements, but because the nervous system is just trying to keep us safe. Slowing down before action supports emotion regulation, clearer thinking, better decision making, and choices that genuinely align with our needs. Research in behavioral psychology consistently shows that clarity improves follow-through. When we understand what matters, why it matters, and what season of life we're in, we make choices that fit our circumstances instead of forcing ourselves into something that's idealized but doesn't belong to us. Change built on pressure rarely lasts. Change built on clarity increases our sense of control. It's not about trying harder. It's about thinking more clearly first. Okay, let's take a practical look at this then. So instead of asking, what should I change? Ask instead, what's actually going on for me right now? And we can look at this in terms of three lenses. And the first lens is a wider picture. So this could be season of life. So what's happening with you in terms of physiology, in terms of family, commitments, your personal growth or personal goals. And then what is feeling really satisfied? So which areas of life are you feel content and you have a sense of achievement, a sense of control? And what areas does that feel like it's lacking slightly, where you're feeling out of control and dissatisfied? This isn't about solving all your problems. It's about just noticing which areas are calling for that attention first. So now that you've identified those areas, the second step is to focus on any of those particular areas. So you may want to say to yourself, if I could support only one area now, it would be this. Or having a more structured approach, considering this as, is it a physical need I have? Is it emotional? Is it a mental load situation? Or is this to do with relationships and support? It could even be about, is this about capacity? And what I mean by that is, do you have the time and the energy to make changes in this area? Or actually, is this more about permission? That you are choosing not to place this as a priority because you're not giving yourself permission to say, this is important and I'm going to focus on this. So this helps you shift from everything matters to this matters first. And then the last of the steps is to then focus narrowly down on that one particular concern. So this isn't a huge plan. This isn't changing your identity or overhauling your life with big changes in habits. It's just saying, given where I am right now, what's one step that fits my life in real life that will help me. And this could be about productivity, boundaries, physical health, emotional health, psychological resilience. And when that clarity happens first, the next steps feel more doable and creates an increased sense of control. And then moving on to bringing this into real life. So allowing this clarity and these actions to be sustainable. The first is to remember that reflection is care and not indulgence. It's there to reduce overwhelm and support the nervous system, and it creates cognitive breathing space. This clarity will build over time. There is no need to force this to allow something to come to the surface. Taking those moments of reflection and taking that time will remain supportive. And that clarity and that reflection can come in a way that works for you, not through a daily planner, not through a set program, but in a way that meets you in your real life, which may be a daily routine or a weekly routine. But reducing the pressure to conform to a routine or to meet somebody else's ideal way of reflection and clarity, so that those chosen actions will be fully personalized to you and meet you and your real life experience. If currently your options are reflections on your own or using something like a physical journal and neither of these are working for you, and you would like some online support in just taking a moment to pause and reflect, then the Women's Wellbeing Lab is there for you. It has reflection tools built in so you can do your reflections and choose what to do next. Either leave it there and sit with it, or you can move straight on to some action planning tools so you can build progress over time. Those instant wins of understanding where you are fundamental to then building that clarity you need to make sustainable progress in your well-being. So it gives you reflection tools, coaching guidance, and a clear framework to help you reduce overwhelm and make decisions that genuinely fit your real life. Today, we explored why meaningful change doesn't begin with action, it begins with awareness. Why overwhelm happens when everything feels important at once. How reflection supports emotion regulation and clearer thinking. Why clarity increases our sense of control. A simple, compassionate 3-step way to pause, notice, and choose a direction. And the idea that sustainable well-being isn't about trying harder, it's about understanding what you need right now in the context of your real life. Thank you for joining me in Real Life Wellbeing for Women. If today's episode offered something useful or supportive, share it with somebody who'd appreciate it, or explore more inside the Women's Wellbeing Lab. This isn't about doing more, it's about reducing overwhelm, feeling connected to what's important to you in this moment, and feeling well supported. Because well-being isn't a luxury, it's the foundations of health and happiness in real life.